We will deceive Tinubu with crowds during APC rallies. This is according to Dalong, Buhari's minister. So we are seeing different developments as we are already moving towards 2027. This one is another issue coming from someone else. This one is Mustafa saying Jonathan Obi can't match APC strength for 2027. That is coming from Mustafa. Of course, Mustafa is the National Vice Chairman, Northeast of the All Progressive Congress, APC. But meanwhile, let me bring you the details of this first one first. He's saying, we will deceive Tinubu with crowds during APC rallies. Buhari's minister, Dalong. He go further to say that former Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Solomon Dalong, has disclosed that Nigerians are being encouraged to join the All Progressive Congress, APC. Dalong said they would send Nigerians to APC rallies to deceive President Bola Tinubu. Speaking on Trust TV, Dalong, who was a minister under the late former President Muhammadu Buhari, accused the APC-led government of failing to invest Nigerians' resources in developing the country. But again, before we go further into the conversation, let me bring you details of this one as well. He said Jonathan Obi can't match APC strength for 2027. That is Mustafa Salihu. He said the National Vice Chairman, Northeast of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Comrade Mustafa Salihu, has dismissed the chances of former President Goodluck Jonathan and former Labour Party presidential candidate P2B emerging as strong contenders for the 2027 election under the People's Democratic Party. Speaking in an interview on Arise News on Sunday, Salihu described the PDP as technically non-existent and argued that neither Jonathan nor Obi possess the political capacity to challenge the APC structure and readiness. Let me at this point say that it is too premature to start determining or to know who will actually emerge victorious in the election of 2027, saying that the whole thing is just crystallizing. So I think we have to wait until all the issues crystallized. That is talking about all the coalition and alliance and all of that. But beyond all of this, what came from, of course, Dalong? We understand that in the north, we have a handful of northern leaders who are backing and supporting the man Tinubu. Perhaps because of his political strategy, as he's often seen as a master strategist. We understand that currently, almost all the northern governors are backing him. Talking about the APC governors, of course, they're in the majority. We are in a situation where even the class of National Assembly gathered in Abuja the other time to endorse him. We have a situation where even the Northern Elders Forum diplomatically endorsed him the other time. So it is becoming very difficult to know whether actually what Dalong is saying is right or wrong. Because if you are seeing people filing out to endorse a candidate, or rather a will-be candidate, and we know what Nigeria stands for, that the policy of Nigeria is interest-oriented. What drives Nigerian politicians is not the interest of the people. So as long as their interest is captured, is accommodated, are we saying they will not support the man whom they have severally pledged to support? I understand that when it comes to the downtrodden, or rather the general public or the electorate, it may be a different ballgame. But the problem of northern Nigeria is they lead, or rather their voting pattern is always anchored by what their leader is saying. They follow their leader like sink and hooker. Once their leader make a decision, they seem to follow suit. So in that circumstance, if the leaders of if northern leaders that we have seen endorsing the president, is it true to say they are just paying lip service? Because even in the southern part of the country, we have always seen a mass exodus of politicians particularly from the PDP, jumping from PDP to APC. We saw that in Delta State, a situation where the immediate past governor, talking about Senator Artow and the incumbent governor left PDP for APC with all the structures of PDP, emptying it into APC. The same thing replicated in Akwa Ibom, where Governor Eno equally emptied all the PDP structure into APC. We know that someone like Governor Mba of Enugu State was touted to be not the same ambition, but at the last count, he have not done so. But again, another issue of concern, because we look at the North critically, even the home state of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, talking about Adamawa, we have seen the governor of his state in recent time stripping him of all a very high respected title, talking about Waziri Adamawa. And political watchers, pundits, have since described that as a red flag for the man Atiku. Political watchers, even pundits, have even insinuated that that may be another strategy from the master strategists, talking about Senator Bola Tinubu. We are beginning to wonder, as highly respected as Atiku, as influential as Atiku, of course, the former #2 citizen of this country, how could a governor of his own state, whatever circumstance, because for me this is ridicule, this is embarrassment. So that is why it is believed in some quarters that the master strategist himself may have used that strategy to whittle down the power and influence, or rather to embarrass the man Atiku. So if you are seeing all of this in the northern part of the country, it becomes extremely difficult to believe what Dalong is saying. That actually, that the crowd, or actually that they will just send crowd to the APC rallies to see the president and perhaps do a different thing. Because are we saying that, because we have seen recent appointments going to strategic position people in the north. We have seen the one that went to the son of the former military ruler, talking about Ibrahim Badamashi Babangida. Even though it was rumored that the man declined or rejected the position appointment, but at the nick of time, he quickly came out to debunk such insinuation and said that he had wholeheartedly accepted the the appointment. So if you are seeing this series of endorsements, I know there are some decent voices, no argument. There are some opposition in the north, no argument. Because we can clearly see the likes of the former governor of Kaduna State, talking about Mananasi El-Rufai, who have made the position known, very firm, that is against the president. He has even said it in different forums that the president have no path to victory in 2027. We have equally seen the likes of the senator from Borno State talking about Ali Ndume, who of course is not very clear where he stands. Today, he will sound as if he is criticizing the president, though I know constructive criticism is allowed, but the next day, you see him throwing his weight behind the government. And in the recent time, we have always seen a situation where it is touted that a Shetima may not make it back to Aso Rock if eventually the president makes it back to Aso Rock as the president after 2027 presidential election. And the calculation of those pundits who are saying it is because the man, Shetima, may not have the political weight enough to, of course, give the president the vote he needs in the north, particularly as the man who was before now seen as Ms. Gaskia is no longer in the scene. Talking about the late President Muhammadu Buhari, who for obvious reasons, he maintained and consistently secured 12 million votes in the north until his demise. The only time he could not secure 12 million votes was during the time he contested against Yaradua, for obvious reasons of being contested against the same northern candidates. So the question here is, in the face of all the endorsement we are seeing for the north, is it still correct to say that they will not give in the votes, and that they will only send people to the rallies to deceive him, owing to the fact that we already know that the only thing that is permanent in politics, particularly in Nigeria, is interest. There's no permanent friend, there's no permanent enemy. I would not say that once their interest is captured, that they will look beyond their interest and look at the welfare and the interests of the generation of Nigerians. I would say that average Nigerian politicians have grown and developed to the point where they prioritize the welfare of Nigerians. Are you saying they are no longer egocentric? Are we saying they are no longer selfish? To think otherwise is to say, of course, it is something you must give and allow test of time to prove. But as far as I'm concerned, it is difficult to prove that the North will not. Even currently as we speak, the opposition political party seems to be in serious disarray. Unfortunately, the new coalition is facing a very serious problem. Considering the fact that we are now seeing unresigned ESCO members of ADC coming to lay claim to the office of the acting national chairman of the party. We are equally seeing a situation where they are already encouraging and asking the likes of Atiku, the likes of P2B to come to formally resign from their political parties and join ADC. We have seen a situation where they have equally move or threaten to drag the David Mark-led ESCO to courts. And of course, they have made it very clear recently. They already made it clear that they are going to do a national convention to get a substantive national chairman. So I think at this point, the coalition must come together and resolve any issue before it becomes late. Drawing from the experience of Zamfara State when APC lost to PDP after the APC candidate won in the governorship election. Because looking at what transpired in Zamfara State then, a situation where APC governorship candidate already emerged victorious in the governorship election. And it happened that the case went to court. And the court ruled that the faction of the APC that produced the candidate of the party for the election was not authentic candidate, was not authentic ESCO. As such, that the party have lost. And now they awarded the governorship to PDP. So drawing from that experience, I think those who are piloting the affairs of ADC have to be circumspect. I think their legal team have to be up and doing in addressing whatever litigation or any issue that may arise in form of litigation. I think they need to put it to an end before we get to the level of the election. Because before now, the likes of Obi, the likes of Atiku have alleged that federal government is the problem behind the problems we are seeing in the opposition political parties. Currently, the PDP is in disarray, though they will have their national convention anytime soon. But it's not clear whether the man, Wike, will have his way to determine the national chairman of the party. As we speak, Labour Party is having their own fair share of crisis. A situation where a court have asked Abure to stop parading himself as the national chairman. So you begin to wonder if all the political parties are in disarray, having crisis in terms of the ESCO and all of that, then it becomes difficult to determine whether we currently have a viable opposition. Because after we saw the formation of the ADC, we felt that yes, the opposition have settled for a fight come 2027. Let me say a very big thank you for your time. This is Alavi Danami Samatu.